Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Robert and Fluffy. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. My nephew actually told me recently that he's starting to learn how to draw, so I'm going to change it up a little bit and I'm actually going to teach you guys how to draw my character, Fluffy. So to kind of give a little bit of backstory, Fluffy is based on me and my cat. It's a web comic strip that I do, and it's kind of like Calvin and Hobbes meets Peanuts. You know, the boy and his dog meets the weirdness of a toddler. Or in this case, it's just a really more, um, how is it delicately I can put it? Just a more jerkier version of Garfield, needless to say. But anyway, so we're going to keep it really simple on this one. Typically, I like to use the 2H pencils, which is that light lead pencil. I don't know if you guys can see that or that. Actually, just your regular Faber-Castell pencil. I'll put it in the note section on the bottom here so you guys can go get a better look at it because I'm sure the videos suck. But for this occasion, we're just going to use a regular old number 2 Ticonderoga pencil, so then that way you guys can see it. You know, it's a little bit darker, as you can see there. So I'm going to flip that over. We got a fresh piece of paper, you know. So we're going to use just regular number 2 pencil, and I'm going to use a big black Sharpie marker. For kids, for the younger audience that's watching this, you know, get your mother's permission, your parents' permission before you start using any kind of permanent markers, pens, inks, and stuff like that. I recommend starting out with maybe a black Crayola marker, because it's washable. And then, of course, you can move up to more nicer stuff later on in life. But needless to say, let's get into it. So the first thing I do, or the first thing that we're going to do when you're drawing Fluffy, of course, Fluffy is a cat. You're going to start out with, it's basically you're just starting out with shapes. So we're just going to do kind of a square. Square for his head. Okay. Next, we're actually going, for his body, we're going to do basically just a teardrop. Or not a teardrop, an egg shape. Because with Fluffy, he actually has a thinner neck and he's got a big fat round body. Because he does like to eat. Just like any other cat, he loves to eat. Now, the tricky part is you're not going to put it in the middle. You're actually going to offset it just a little bit. So we're going to put the egg probably about right here. And you know, of course, it doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look accurate. It's just got to look like an egg. Okay, looks good. Next, for his feet are kind of very box shaped. There used to be these toys, these make-it-yourself toys, and I actually have an example of them here. This guy, I don't know if you guys can see him, or better yet, see him, but I really based Fluffy on this character, this type of toy. They don't make them anymore, unfortunately, which really sucks because I enjoyed making it. But with his feet, you can kind of see it. He has very flat feet, very square feet. So that's where I based Fluffy's design off of, because I just thought it was a really cool looking concept. So for the feet, you're just going to do 2 squares. Like so. Now don't worry about it, you know, blending together or anything like that, because that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so now that we've got our basic generic shapes, we're going to go in and we're going to start adding in the details. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to work on his head. We're going to start with the head first. So you're actually going to come around. Actually, let's see. You're going to start actually down here. You're going to start at the neck. So you're going to basically do a line that attaches from the egg to the top of the head. And then you're just going to come around with it. Like so. Okay. Next, you're going to do the other side. Like so. add your ears, which is basically just a simple triangle, like that. Now here comes the interesting part. Fluffy's got what they call, he's based on my real cat. My real cat, his name was Tyson, and he was a feral cat out of Florida. And anytime a agency or your local dog shelters or animal control, I hate saying that word, whenever they pick up a feral cat off in the street, they have to mark them so that they can keep them separated. Google it. It's actually a pretty interesting concept, but they're only supposed to really like lop off like an itty bitty part of the ear here. Well, my cat, they actually went in and lopped off half of his ear, which was really unfortunate, but you know, that's just the way of the world. It made him cooler, made him a little bit more unique. So I incorporated that design into the character. So with this, the easiest way to do it is we're just going to draw the whole ear first, okay? Like so. Okay? Now, you're just going to take you're going to take your pencil, just do a line right down the middle, just like that. Okay? You can use, next you want to use your eraser. In this case, I'm just going to basically use a generic white eraser. Just erase the top of the ear. You guys can use the end of your number 2 pencil. Do it that way. And there you have it. Just half of his ear just lopped off. Poor guy. Next, we're going to add the hair. So it's just little triangles here, or little lines, depending on what you're comfortable with. I'm actually going to fix this down here. See, now that's the great part with using your pencil first and using a lighter pencil first. If you got to go in, you have to do corrections, fix a mistake. The lighter pencil is easier to not see in the final product. You know, so it's easier to erase. It's cleaner. You know, whereas this one, since it's just a demonstration, you're going to see the lines and everything that I erase. So erasing, there's nothing wrong with it. You can't draw it all perfectly. We're not perfect. You know, we're only human. So it's basically all about having fun. So we got his ear. Now we're going to add a little bit of the fuzz, a little bit of his fuzz on the bottom here for his chin. We're going to come around and do that for the other side, like so. All right, there we have that. Now we're going to come down. We're going to leave his face for a minute. We'll go back in and do the details in a little bit. We're going to leave his face for a minute. Then we're going to come down here to his torso area. And since the egg shape, you're going to continue the neck. And you're actually going to come in and just round off the egg, like so. You're going to stop pretty much right where that first square is on his leg. Okay? Then you're going to come in and start the leg. I'm going to start up here, so you're going to get them connected. That's basically what you're doing. So you're connecting one square, like so. I like to just round off the bottom. Like I said, we can add the details in a little bit. So you round off the bottom, come over here to the other side where the egg stopped, or where we stopped that line. You're going to add your other line for your other square. Round that off. And there you go. Now comes the fun part. We're going to add an arm. With the arm, you're just going to make a longer, basically a teardrop, so to speak. So you're going to come in where the top of the neck is. You're going to come down, and you're just going to do a small circle, like so. You're going to come on the inside of the egg. You're not going to attach it to anything, but you're going to come on the inside of the egg, have a little bit of lip, because that's his armpit. come down, do another curve, like so, and wrap it around. There's his little hand, just right there. Okay. So now we have the one hand. Now we're going to take the other part of the foot, bring it up, and connect it. So there's one whole finished body. Okay. All right. So now we're kind of getting there. So now we're going to go in and just add the tail. You have free reign to do however you want to add the tail yourself. You can just make a big old tail. You can make a smaller tail. I'm just going to do something really quick and just, make just a little basic tail. If you're going to make tails for any creature, always practice your S's, especially for your younger guys and gals. So excuse me. Just do a little S like so. All right, now that we've got his body taken care of, now we're going to go in and we're going to start doing adding in the details. Okay, adding in his paws, adding in his face, stuff like that. So I'm going to actually start down here with his feet, and I'm going to go in and kind of add just a little bump on each side of his feet. I'm going to do two little lines, two little curved lines on each foot. And there's his toes, right? And you're going to put just a simple line on the top. Kind of helps shows the crease. All right, and I mean that's basically it as far as his feet goes, his toes. Really simple, really easy to the point. Now we're going to go up here to his face. I'm actually going to start on the ear, and I'm going to start on the corner up here. I'm just going to do just a small curve like this, and then a C, backwards C, like that, to show the inside of his ear. And you're just going to go in and you're just going to add some triangles. So basically, if you ever look at a cat's real head, they've kind of got these little hairs that come out of his ears, just like Dad. If you go look at Dad's ears, you'll see it. Okay, so we're just going to do a little fuzz there for it. Doesn't have to be too extravagant. Now we're going to come in and we're going to do the eyes and the nose. Typically, Fluffy doesn't really, when he's in a serious pose, he doesn't really have a mouth. I don't really portray him with a mouth. It's very invisible. But we're going to do a small smile just for you guys. But first thing that you want to do is you want to go back to that original square. Okay, you want to find the center of that square, which is basically going to be about right here. Okay? So now you want to go, you don't want to put the eyes completely like over here and over here, although I think either way it's going to look good. So you just want to find the center of that square, and you just want to place your eyes in the spot where you think it's going to look the best. So I actually like where those end up, so I'm just going to put one there and one there. It's really simple eyes. He doesn't really have like the pupils or anything like that. It's just cartoon eyes, little Orphan Annie eyes. That's what I grew up on, was just a little Orphan Annie. It was really simple type of design. His favorite wrestler is The Rock, so we're going to give him the Rock eyebrow there and there. All right, then you're going to come basically where those two eyes are. You're going to come to the middle, come to the center, and you're going to do an upside down triangle, like so. Add a little bit of lines here, and there you have his nose. Now for his mouth, what we're going to do, and anytime you see, of course, a cat or any kind of animal, their lips curve and go right up to the edge of the nose. So if you've got pets, take a look, because of course it's really kind of like it goes up to the nose and it comes out. So we're just going to come up to the edge of the nose here, come down, circle around, create a little lip, and there you have his mouth. And I think that'll just about do it. Really easy. Oh, we're going to add a little bit more fuzz here, and say that's good on the drawing. Now we're going to go in and we're going to ink this bad boy. Where's my marker? There it is. All right. So like I said, make sure, kids, make sure you get the Crayola markers. Ask mom and dad's permission, or ask your parents' permission to, use the permanent marker. Highly don't recommend it. But definitely get your parents' permission first. All right. So then you're just going to go in and you're basically just going to trace it. Do our first line here. So. Lines here. So you only want a marker, you only want to trace the part that you know is going to be the final one. See, now, like I said, this is the good part about having the lighter pencil is when we go back to erase it, you're not really going to see those lines. So your finished product is always going to be your inked. And in some cases, after you go back on the ink, it actually ends up looking 10 times better. In theory. And we're just going to color in his nose there. All right. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go back in and erase all the lines. Now, before you guys do this, since some of you may not be using the permanent marker, I highly suggest giving it a few minutes to let it dry before you go and you start erasing it, because telling you from experience, it smears. And there's nothing more unsettling than looking at a finished product that you worked really hard on and then having to start over because your painting smeared. It's annoying. There you go. Now, of course, you can kind of see, where the lines were because, of course, it was a darker pencil. But I think that worked out pretty well. So the final finishing touches that we're going to do for him is we're actually just going to give him some whiskers. And that's just, I keep that really simple, like so. Add a little bit of shadow down here for him, like that. And there you have it. That, my friends, is how we draw Fluffy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Leave any questions, comments, concerns. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them the next time I do a video. Hope you had fun. By all means, please rewind, fast forward, pause in certain places if you need to. And I want to be able to see some finished artwork. So check out all my social media up at the top. Please post or tag me in any picture that you did with my character Fluffy. I'd love to see it. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.